Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to the Cable Trash Cast. I'm your host, Occult Tooner, with our guests, Chungus Foil, Sweet and Seal, and maybe Zodi later on in the night. Introduce yourselves, guys.
Hello, I'm MoonSeal. I would say I'm a big fan of tonight's topic, and I know, I know a lot. I'm excited for today's topic.
He's a number One Piece aficionado.
Lies. All lies. I'm right here. I'm Chungus, aka Astral Turtle, aka the real number One Piece fan. And you know I'm a One Piece fan because anyway, I draw and I make music. And I do love these movies. Mooney does know more about One Piece though.
Yeah, my name is Royal Foil, and I can't really say that I'm really a huge fan of One Piece because I know I watched it like a long time ago and it was like the 4Kids dub and the Funimation dub. But Tuner, Chungus, and Moon, and also Sodi had just knocked on my room door and was like, "Oh hey, I just want to talk to you, Foil. You gotta watch all of these One Piece movies."
You got to watch. You got to watch them, Foil.
But yeah, I also do art, and I have like a Twitter, Redbubble, TeePublic, and also a Instagram page.
An Instagram, an OnlyFans, a Pornhub account.
Oh, you didn't tell me you finally opened up the OnlyFans. You gotta send me the link, brother. Foil?
My brother. And
Time.
His silence says 1,000 words.
Chungus just wants those fly shots, Royal. You gotta provide.
Please.
And I'm your host, Tuner. I draw sometimes. I make 3D models. I got Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube account. And soon I'll just transfer over all these podcasts to a different channel, just to be a little bit more organized.
How come you didn't tell him you have the lifting strength of 10 men?
I had the lifting strength of 10 babies.
Oh. Okay, good. Go on then.
Go on then. All right. Zodi, you gonna do the One Piece rap?
He's not
Oh,
here.
He would never do this.
He would never do it.
He would never do it.
He said it.
There once was a man named Gold Roger.
He was king of the pirates.
He had wealth, fame, and power beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said: "My fortune is yours for the taking. I know. I left everything I own in one piece."
One place.
In one
Should've said
place.
Piece. It always bugged me he didn't say One Piece.
Well, no, the treasure is the One Piece, but it's left in one place.
It should
Yeah.
be in one piece.
Yeah,
Wait.
One Piece.
The stupid dying idiot.
Does this mean I have to do the intro now? You forcibly brought me in here.
Yes, do the intro.
My name is Zodiac Clown, and I've officially fought the allegations. I'm no longer the number one stinky boy in the USA. I went to court, I fought them, and they're like, you know what? You're right. You're not the stinkiest boy. Alex Jones is.
Oh,
You know, we
finally-
didn't even have to prompt him. He just said that.
It's just
yeah. He really beat the allegations. We should be happy for him. You know, not many make it to this point in life.
The allegations on stinkiness. I don't know what allegations y'all are talking about.
He finally took a bath. My man.
he finally touched grass.
That's grass.
Yeah, I was like Rita Repulsa on the trash can. I was like, it's been 3,000 years, and I climbed into the bathtub.
So wait, are we gonna do the rest of the intro?
Yo!
No.
Jayo! Don't give it up, Luffy!
Dreaming. Don't give it up, Zoro.
Dream it! Don't
give
give
it
it
up,
up, Nami!
Nami!
Dream it! Don't give it. Give it up! Give it up! Give it up!
Here's how the story goes. We find out there's a treasure in the ground.
Man, lying
There's
through
no doubt.
that the pirates will show eyes on
Eyes
till
on it. You'll
sink.
see. I'll be king of the pirates. I'm gonna be king.
Yayo!
Yayo!
Yayo! Yayo! Uh-oh!
Oh, his name
His
is
name
Luke.
is Luffy. That's
This
Monkey
Monkey
D.
D.
You're gonna
Luffy
be
is the king of the pirates! How did that
He's
happen?
like a brother.
How did that happen? Yo, he took a bite of gum gum.
Oh my god.
Yayo!
I don't think we should do anymore. That song's
Yeah,
like
it's
3
just-
minutes long.
12 minutes long.
I'm impressed you have that memorized, Chungus.
It's truly one of the greatest pieces of musical literature ever composed. It stands the test of time.
You have me beat. All I can remember is the Samurai Jack intro.
Oh,
Gotta get back.
on the good age.
Back to the past.
Okay, Lou Wayne.
Alright, let's go just to our first topic. The One Piece movie number 1. The topic 1. Likes or dislikes. So Chungus, what do you like or dislike about movie number 1?
Yeah, so I do have a soft spot for this movie now. I didn't watch, so even though I'm a big fan of One Piece, I usually don't watch a lot of anime movies that are based off of ongoing series because usually it's not canon. I'm like, oh whatever, what's the point? But a lot of great stuff kind of came from this movie, and it feels like a cozy kind of like just like a vignette of the early East Blue saga. It feels like a lazy kind of Saturday afternoon. And I'm a music nerd, and a lot of my favorite tracks I didn't realize came from this movie, like Unam in the Stone Storage Room, and a couple others. And yeah, I think this is the only One Piece movie that is cell animated, and I have a huge soft spot for cell animation, so I have a lot of things I like about this movie. So it's cute. I love it a lot.
Alright, cool. What about you, Foil?
Okay, so definitely my favorite parts of the movie were the ones with Yusep. And
Yusep?
what else?
You mean
Yeah.
Usopp?
Yeah, Yusep. Yeah, sorry. But then there was also like the map burning scene. That was kind of fun. Oh, the charisma with the grandpa and what was the kid's name, was Toybo or something? Right.
Ooh, I don't remember.
What was that kid's
What
name?
was it?
I don't remember. This started with a T.
It's a non-canon kid. I don't care what his name is.
Yeah, like,
Anime
even
child
though-
that never appears again. Yeah.
Tobio. Tobio.
Yeah,
Tobias.
kind of like a generic character. I mean, I kind of like how it was at the end, where it was like he decided to stay with his grandpa and cook at the island. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, the Odin shop.
Yeah. And it was also like what Chungus said, the animation, but we'll get to that part like the next topic about it.
It's not Odin, but it's not boiled. Oh boy.
Go next there, Toon.
It's Seal's turn. MoonSeal.
Oh, right.
Hello. Okay.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so what I like about movie 1, literally just called One Piece the movie, because very creative people over at Toei. I think my favorite thing about this is just the story and how it feels like early One Piece. Like, sure, the villains aren't too great and memorable, but just the story of like Tobio's grandpa and his relationship with Wulon and their history together and how that's explored throughout the movie is one of my favorite aspects. Especially, what was it? It was when they finally like find Wulon's corpse and like you read the message on the opposite wall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just to describe his like life story and how he got to where he was and how he realized having gold wasn't all what he wanted in reality, and how he just wanted to have friends. and how he regrets the actions he's taken.
Yeah,
All about the power of friendship.
classic
Mhm.
One Piece,
Mhm.
like in the best way possible.
Right.
My Nakama.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Message from Moonam is another. It's like the song that plays and that ties it all together really well too.
It really does. But the one thing I would have to say I kind of dislike is that since where they were at the anime and when they were starting the production of this movie, like was right before Barate, I think. So Sanji doesn't really show up until like
Oh yeah, that's another thing too.
in the
Like he's in
credit.
the intro. Oh, sorry.
Well,
But
he's in the intro because the intro is "We Are."
Yeah.
I think this is like the only movie that used "We Are" as a trail as like an intro to the
Believe so.
movie.
And
It's kind of just like an extended episode of the anime.
yeah.
And so it just kind of feels like that. And as Chungus and Foil said, the animation is really nice to look at. I like the colors a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much all I have to say right now.
That's all. All right, I'll go to myself, and it's a very nice movie. It's short, sweet. It's pretty good, like adventure story. I like the animation. I like the art style, but I already liked One Piece, and like Oda does no wrong in the art style. Even his most generic or worst designs, I still like. The one thing is I saw this. I didn't know this movie existed. I kind of skipped over the first three until Moon actually showed it to me. So going back and seeing them really weak in their beginning state is so weird. After years of watching them just level up in their going island by island. Uh what else? But yeah, it's I believe the first movie really encapsulate the One Piece spirit. It's just it's just a good old time where they're just having fun and see being pirates and beating up people.
Oh, we
Yeah.
should probably add like the comedy because the comedy's pretty
And
good
the
in this
comedy
one.
is pretty good. Yeah.
The one joke where it's like Luffy and Zoro are tied up, and he goes like, and the villain of the movie is like, "Who? What's your name? My name's Straw Hat Luffy. I'm going to become king of the pirates, and this is Zoro." Yo,
Yo,
Bruh. Classic. Luffy just never ever lying about who he is. It's a long standing tradition, even in like post time skip.
because he's
Like
gonna
with Big
be
Mom.
king
Big Mom.
of the pirates.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say. So move on to the next topic. Do. The unique cell animation versus future movies, digital ink and paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say. Like as much as I like the cell animation, I don't mind the digital paint ones. And like I feel like One Piece is consistent in its style, where even with the change, the it's not that noticeable. Well, I don't think it's that noticeable or that big of a difference to even focus on.
I know we're not talking about like the other movies we're talking about right now, but this out of like this first batch of movies that we're talking about, it's definitely the one that looks the best. Like
Yeah,
Chopper's Kingdom with its like glares and everything, like oil.
everything's spoiled.
Listening.
I'll give you that. It is definitely the best.
No.
Yeah,
I would definitely say it's my favorite, like artistic until probably movie 6. But movie 6 is like just unique all on its own. Probably worth just a whole podcast on its own, to be perfectly honest.
But yeah, like I said with my thoughts of even though movie one does look the best, like I don't think the changes are big enough for me to be a distraction. Like I can still enjoy the other ones, but clearly the first one is better. So on to you, Moon.
Well, as I was saying, I don't know a whole lot about animation off the top of my head without some research, but like I was saying earlier, it definitely looks nice and is definitely the best looking out of these early movies. Like, because when we talk about the next movie, it still looks fine, but there's some of the character designs do not go well. Speaking of, like, I don't know how they portray like the main villains, like power to just like fire a beam. It's very Dragon Ball esque, and it kind of shows since this was made by Toei.
It was firing his laser.
He was. Forget, how does he fire is it through his mouth? Or
It is through his mouth.
He shoots a mouth laser.
he just fucking Nappa's
Kaido. He could definitely take on Kaido. That's all I'm saying.
He does what you would call it. He does what Nappa did to Piccolo.
Yeah. Pulls his damn ears off.
That's all I have to really say at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Foil, what about you?
Okay, so I guess because like I'm the one who wrote that part, is like the animation for the first movie is I mean it's like what we all said, it looks very good, like pretty decent even to this day because cell animation by itself feels very organic, you know. Because, you know, it's like as the show goes on, it's like gets more detailed, I guess you can say, where it's like the characters designs and stuff seem a little bit more abstract, where it's kind of like Shin-Chan, where it's like the characters kind of look normal at first, but then as it went on, it just seems like they were just went crazy with like all the facial expressions and stuff, you know, because it seems like compared to the other movies, they kind of had to work with restraint a little bit, I guess. But
Wait, restraint?
yeah, you know, it's like it seems like they weren't like pushing like how the characters like it's kind of hard to say without you actually just looking at like comparing like the first movie and the second movie where it seems like there's a lot more emotion that's going on is it's just kind of hard to say just saying it without you looking at it visually, but I'm just glad that they just had like a first movie and they had like cell animation just because it makes it unique amongst all the other movies. That's all I'll say.
All right. And Chungus.
Yeah, so I feel like where this movie is, so obviously we talked about Toei and the Dragon Ball kind of designs of like this last villain, and in truth he's kind of like a blend of like Arlong and maybe a few other kind of East-ish blue villains. And I think where the movie kind of shines is this last fight, and this is really like spectacular high-flying battle, and it almost feels like a little disproportionate. I think it kind of starts this tradition of these movies ending on like a really like intense battle, but as we kind of stated earlier, you know, it's early on in the series, so Luffy's still really scrawny, and it really sells that like underdog aspect really well. So the animation is really dope in that aspect. I think that was that was like the most I had to say about it. I do like a lot of the designs. Some of them don't feel super One Piece-y. Like even though I like the fight with the last villain, I'm not like a big fan of his overall design or his power set.
His
But
weird Dragon Ball lion transformation as.
yeah,
What are you
But,
saying that El Dorado isn't a good villain? How dare?
oh well, come on, he's got to be an S tier villain, obviously.
He can beat Kaido, obviously.
He could easily
He
take
loved
on the Animal
gold.
Kingdom pirates.
That was like his defining trait. He just loved gold.
But I will also say that at this point in the story, just being a devil fruit user was like a rare thing. So maybe some of the rules weren't quite as like established on their end, and maybe they kind of had to like fill in the blanks. I'm just kind of guessing on that. So I think for what they kind of had, I think it turned out okay. So I liked it a lot. Yeah, that was pretty much it on my end.
Alright. What was El Dorado's powers anyway? You could just fire lasers.
You just fire that
Yeah, I
laser.
think that was like the
Strong.
only one.
They like fight like close combat. Like Luffy like smashes him into like a boulder, and like a Dragon Ball villain. He jumps out and he's like, "Is that all you got, Squirt?" Or some generic tough guy line like that.
The Goe no Mi is
Is that
a
what it's called?
Paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to create beams of sound that look like energy beams by shouting.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds
Oh.
very generic.
It is literally just I'm firing my laser through
He's literally like, what's his name, Black Bolt from like Marvel.
Marvel.
There's actually, I mean, I guess this predates this because right before Skypiea, there's a character, the Gorilla Brother, the Monkey Brothers. They're like the two orangutan dudes, and one of them like sings really loudly, and it almost like destroys the Going Merry.
I need to rewatch Skypiea at some point.
It's really early on, but it was still it was still after this. This movie predates it, so I gotta give him that. There's also kind of like a long-standing tradition of One Piece movies kind of like predating certain important things in the arcs of the actual series. So, but yeah.
All right. Anyway, move on. Next topic.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the more simplistic structure compared to the later One Piece movies? So, Chungus.
And just
Yeah. So I kind of earlier I like briefly mentioned that like it feels like classic East Blue to me, and that like the stakes feel a lot lower than later arcs because starting from like Alabasta, it seems like every battle is for like the sake of a nation, and the fact that they're like quote unquote just fighting over like gold, it sounds like a big deal, but it's really not, and it kind of like I
mean,
like
pirates and gold. Come on,
yeah,
it's
right.
like a classic combination. It just feels like a very like just
Yeah,
kind of simple pirate movie, and it's pretty good.
yeah. I appreciate it. The simple structure and like the lower stakes kind of make it like a good jumping in point. So there's not like an entire history of like a nation that you have to like, be educated on to like understand how this is going to be big. It's like no, it's like what you see is what you get. So
This could totally be like an introduction like piece to like just the series in general. I feel
yeah,
you have like the four first like core members, and they go on like this side adventure, no more like than an hour long,
yeah.
and it just all works. I feel.
That like earlier, I can't forget who mentioned, but like this is pre Sanji, and I'm not gonna talk about how much I don't like Sanji. But
we'll do
these
that in
are
the
like
second movie.
Save
these
it
are
for the
like
second movie with the scene.
these are like the core four members too, and I think they're really like these to me are like the main Straw Hats in my opinion. Like I know Sanji's up there too, but you can't have a One Piece movie without these four, you know. So I think they hit the nail on the head on every aspect. So I like that a lot. But yeah, that's all I had to say on that.
All right. Foil.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I kind of like how it's basically what Chungus said. I pretty much like how simplistic it is, how you can just jump off like with the first movie where there's not a lot that's going on. It's just simple like, hey, we gotta go find this treasure. Or in the second movie, it's like, oh, hey, this guy stole our ship, but we'll get to that point. And uh, I mean, even though I wrote this, I mean, I don't really have that much to add, to be honest.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Seal.
Yes. As I was saying earlier, it feels like a classic adventure. Like you don't, as Chunk, you don't need like all like the background, like for like say going into like say Alabasta or like Dressrosa. You don't need all that background. You have 4 straw hats out doing what pirates do most: hunt for treasure.
You got 4 funny people hunting for gold.
Little wacky little pirate people.
One little rubber boy versus the world. Well, not yet.
Almost.
Almost.
Give 'em
I
a
also like, since it's so like early on, right? Like you get a lot more just like character writing over like action. So,
yeah.
and I feel like they amp up the action in the next movie, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, I definitely think all like the story beats, if it being like a more simplistic story, work heavily towards its favor, and why it's probably one of my favorite One Piece movies out of the like 14, 15 of them. So yeah.
All
Are
right.
there really 15 now? Sheesh.
Eee.
Sheesh.
Sheesh.
So anyway, what I feel about the simplistic nature is, even though it's their first One Piece movie, it's very well done, and I appreciate that they made it like short, grounded story instead of a very wild, overbloated mess with a bunch of hidden secrets and lore all around the place. The although I would have preferred little more, what's the word, agency with the villains, because they're kind of just there.
I wouldn't call them bad, but they're serviceable.
They're serviceable.
Yeah. Classic East Blue villain. Serviceable.
How dare.
Don Krieg, old looking ass.
Look, Don Krieg was a man, okay? He was a man's man until he wasn't.
Yeah, so are these guys. No, Don Krieg was a coward. Don Krieg was like an underhanded bastard.
Oh boy.
Little scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just appreciate the simplicity of it. You know, it's easygoing. You can watch it whenever. It's only an hour long. But yeah, that's all I got. Anyway, next topic. The second movie. Question 1. Was it an improvement from the first movie? So, my thoughts, not that much. I feel it's a slight downgrade from the first movie. Just because it's a little bit more sporadic, from what I remember. Although it did improve on maybe some of the action and the I think it had a couple more funnier moments. Oh yeah, it does have that waifu. You're completely right, MoonSeal. The water waifu.
Naked.
Nikki.
Get put in the jar.
She naked.
she did get put in the jar.
She did get put in the jar. Oh no. Oh
Yeah,
no.
I'll move on to Seal.
Okay, like movie 2, I don't dislike it. I'd call this movie more serviceable than anything. Some of the humor was pretty good but then again, it is One Piece. All the humor in this series probably makes me laugh for the most part. Like story wise though, it's like doesn't really do anything for me. The whole like setup, it's kind of, the boat gets stolen, then Nami becomes like a forced bride to the villain. I don't know. Some of the fight scenes are pretty good actually, but Sanji just gets fucking beaten in this movie with his feet with the balls.
That's the funniest moment right there. This
He goes in to kick the ball thrown by the one guy.
No.
He just like, turns into a spike ball.
Oh,
This
that
movie is not for Sanji fans. I'll tell you what.
hey,
it's his premiere movie too.
it's better than what they did to Usopp.
Oh.
Ooh. I thought I thought the one, I forget his name, but like the older brother type character was a lot better. He was probably one of my favorite like movie characters from this film. Like he just like looking out for the kid. I don't know. The more I think about this movie, the more I kind of favored like the dislike. I don't know. Like the plot was weird. The character designs were weird. It's okay. It's mid.
Yeah. It's
There, I used the M word.
Oh,
It's-
Twitter be damned.
it's a big discompliment if a One Piece design is weird. It's too weird.
I think it's less weird and maybe more ill-fitting is maybe a better like term. But I'll say that for one.
Oda was just experimenting.
Did he actually? Question: Did he do the designs for these movies?
Designs? I can look that up.
Because I did have a point on that later, but I'll wait till it's my turn.
I got nothing more to say at the moment.
Okay, we'll move on to foil.
Okie dokie. So already like MoonSeal mentioned, I did like the Deef brothers because I like how like even though you can kind of see how like you can kind of see like the parents, for example, is like you can kind of see where they were going with already. Like, oh man, it's like the younger brothers. That's sorry, kind of nervous, but um,
Don't be nervous, foil. You're among friends.
You're just everyone's listening. That's all.
Yeah,
Don't be
Yeah,
nervous. We're all just listening and judging partially.
I'm trying to like do this without using the notes. It's kind of hard, but
use your notes.
I'm using notes. They're not like well written though, but I'm using them.
yeah, I'll probably just say is like okay, now I remember. Okay, so like the little backstory they had, where the younger one had like this little, the little toy box. It was like they played a song and it calmed them down. I mean, that was pretty nice. And when the younger brother finally finds the parents at the island, and he decides like, hey, I want to go with my stepbrother because I got this far, so why can't I just stop now? Then the fight scenes are pretty great, and even though the character designs of the antagonists were kind of weird, like I still enjoyed them. Like this is a very like crazy movie, I guess you can say. And that's all I can say.
Yeah. Right. And Chungus.
Yeah, so I'll kind of piggyback off some of the things said earlier. I will say, even revisiting this earlier today, there's a lot I just don't remember about this movie, and it's just kind of like meh. But going back to the designs, the reason I asked is because, like, first of all, the name of the villains are the Trump siblings, so that's an oofy right there. But
What do you mean? Sanji gets crucified on Trump Castle.
that's my favorite scene. As a number one Sanji hater, I love to see it, baby. But what I was gonna say is Bojack to me just straight up looks like Majin Buu. Like that made me question if that was even a the Oda design, or same with like the lady. Usually Oda kind of, well, for better or for worse, he kind of makes his ladies look a lot like Nami, and she looked more. I think they look a little bit too generic, except for like maybe like the main villain. I forget his name, but I think that's kind of why they feel a little bizarre or ill-fitting. I kind of feel like they're maybe from a different series or holdovers or something. Um, what's funny is that like Bojack's wanted poster like appears in a couple other movies briefly, and I think another little interesting tidbit about this movie is that Ace is like teased, and this is before Arabasta, so that was a nice little tidbit. Also, keeping up with like the One Piece tradition of like having stuff that appears in the movies way before the series. Nami getting kidnapped as like a bride, like is something that happens in Thriller Bark, which I also thought was kind of interesting. Maybe it's just a cliche. I don't know. I think the only other thing I had was this is like a nerd thing, but Usopp's getup is more like a traditional like Japanese priest, whereas like Nami and like on the teaser poster you see like Nami and Sanji are wearing like a more Western style bride and groom outfit. And One Piece has always had like a kind of combination of like Eastern and Western type cultures mixing together. So I thought that was really cool. But unfortunately, I don't know. This movie has a lot of action, but it doesn't really have like a ton of else going on. So it's
So
it's aight.
below
Like a
mid.
and a half. It's like a 6.5 out of 10. I don't know. I'd give the last one like maybe like an 8, and then this one I'd probably give like a 6.5, maybe a 6. It's kind of mid.
All right.
But yeah.
And then I guess we already explained likes and dislikes, so I guess likes and
I mean, we can
dislikes
just
and
like do like
maybe
a little.
other stuff.
little-
Any last words, Chungus? Oh well, what were you saying, MoonSeal?
I was just gonna say go into like a general discussion real quick.
Yeah, general discussion.
Yeah.
So, like, wait, Chungus.
No, I think I talked about a lot of the stuff I liked. The scene where he like freaking like holds up the castle or whatever was pretty dope. And even though Sanji does kind of get like his ass beat in this movie, everyone, this does kind of start the tradition of like, the monster trio. This is like the first time you see like the monster trio kind of in action. So seeing them kind of take on the bad guys, that was fun. But other
Stole
than
his
that,
shoes. That's why they could do the spike ball attack on them. That's the only reason. It's not like the spike would have gone through the shoes.
Sanji, no. Get this man off the crew, please. Get him off.
Becomes useless, stole shoes.
Oh,
The crew
And-
needs
but
a
this is
chef,
like-
Chungus. They need
this
to
is
eat.
it's pre-hockey, it's pre Diablo Jumble, it's a very like no, he just has kicks, like that's it, nothing else going on right now. So it's kind of a constraint of the story too. But yeah, I kid. I joke about Sanji a lot. I do like Sanji. Okay, I just
Oh, for like, if you have like an image in the background tuner for like the set, just put the picture of Sanji being crucified.
Sanji, no,
Sanji.
no, Sanji.
Everyone else gets crucified, but
Yeah, but he just happens to be like the first, I think. So
the first one we see.
the first to be crucified.
Wait, maybe there should be like a thumbnail or something. Just have all of us crucified.
No,
No.
I don't know if that's gonna go over too well.
So you guys want me to get canceled or something, man? Shit.
Finally, today's the day we end Tuner's career once and for
Right
all.
now, right here,
Once and for
on
all.
this rooftop.
over.
Like it's Tuner, like he's like Kaido, right? And we're just like we're the worst generation, me, Chungus, and Foil. Like
Tuner
line
is
up.
Tuner's the Kaido, and we're in like his gulag. He's trying to break our will. He's making us do like manual labor for measly portions.
Portions.
I'm the old boomer teaching Foil the way, and Moon is the angsty, useless kid. I'm showing Foil the way of One Piece.
You gotta
You
believe,
see, you
Foil.
just gotta hit harder.
You just gotta punch him really hard. That's all. That's what One Piece is really all about.
You just gotta
But,
never give up and punch harder.
But yeah, I think that's all I had to say about this one too. The kind of the give and take of having like a very like simple One Piece movie is that ultimately there's not like a ton of substance to them, so you just kind of have to like enjoy what you can about them, and that's basically it.
Yep.
The first one I will say did do a better job of kind of like you kind of empathize with Unam's story, even if you don't empathize with the main villain. So at least that one had that going on, and this one is just kind of like, it feels like a filler episode, I guess.
Mhm.
They're all filler episodes.
I've been saying it for eons.
One Piece doesn't exist, only filler.
Only no,
Oh,
this ain't
Boruto sweet.
Naruto.
Boruto sweep. Moon, that gave me like brain damage hearing you say that. I think you actually removed several of my brain cells by doing that, and I don't like it.
Right,
Oh,
Foil.
lame.
I mean, I haven't even seen Naruto, so
Oh, good.
Yeah, Foil. Go on.
No, I have no more dots.
No more thoughts. Head
Head
empty.
empty.
Yeah.
head empty.
Seal.
There was no One Piece.
It
Oh
was
shit.
I mean,
The
we'll
One
get-
Piece.
the One Piece
One
is
Piece is
real.
real!
That's gonna be the thumbnail. All of us saying that.
Just cut it off at the waist so people won't.
Oh, Seal, no!
Oh,
I hit the wrong button there.
he died.
I
Get
died.
back.
I died for your. No,
Yeah.
You got
He was
crucified.
I got crucified with Sanji. Don't worry about it.
No.
Alright. Seal, yeah. Likes this sense. Any other thoughts?
The only other thought I really have to say about this movie is that it's just, besides like how what we've already said, like it's kind of like mid. It's, I know, anime Twitter talk, right?
Man.
It's mid. It's that I don't really care for this movie, even though it has like a lot of good fights. I'm just not really. What I like about One Piece is more the dialogue, the world building, not really the fights themselves. So this movie was like with a lot of fighting was like to me,
Fair.
That's fair.
Mid
and
movie.
like the way they beat them is like literally just straight out of like Wapool.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot they recreated like the waffle shot. That was dope though. But yeah, it is kind of regurgitated.
That's a lot of problem with these movies. Like they tend to take like attributes from some of the main series fights and just remake them for these movies. And that's why I kind of like the first movie a little bit more than this too. Like, sure, the villain wasn't all that good, but he wasn't really like copied off of anything.
Alright.
I don't know.
That's
I
fair.
see a lot of Krieg in his design and a little bit of Arlong, but I do hear your point though. He's definitely more imaginative than the Trump pirates.
Yeah.
Wait.
Also, the whole like subplots, like, oh, we don't actually know who his parents are. Meets him immediately on Clockwork Island. It's like, we lost their son. He had this little thing on him. It's like,
It's her
oh
son.
boy, he
Yeah.
had like this like little trinket on him that we gave him. It's like, oh, my brother had something like that.
Yeah, that wasn't
That's my son.
very
She forgot about that
unsubtle.
whole part of the story. Honestly,
Right? It
Yeah.
just
The whole
Just
movie.
I
adds-
forgot about it.
it just adds to how I feel about this. It's like not as memorable, I feel, except for like the Sanji crucifixion.
Sanjay game blown
Why they
up.
gotta do him like that? That was his
Uh,
first movie.
Chungus, you brought this upon us. You're the one who started this bit.
Oh no, I love hating Sanji, but at the same time, it's like, why did they do this? They're supposed to like hype him up a little bit more. It's a grenade.
Me after seeing this movie.
Oh,
No, not that bad.
they can't see this, but this is funny though. I didn't care for.
All right. Anything else, Seal?
Nothing really, honestly. I'm just making a tier list in the background while we're doing this and all
okay.
the other movies.
All right, I'll keep mine short because I don't really have much to say other than the Sanji exploding is still hilarious. I feel bad for Usopp getting far fetished on the, and I'm impressed that they introduced Haki in here before Haki was even a thing.
I wanted to mention that earlier. I forgot. Keep that tradition going. Introducing crap way before the series does.
Because the Bear King, even when he did the power stuff, it did the same Haki sound when he was like hardening his arm. So like, it is very interesting that they just reused that sound clip. Yeah,
I'm sure Toei kind of Toei uses a lot of sound clips. I'm sure it's like twofold.
that's all they had to do. That's all they need. Just one good clip.
Pretty sure the first movie does put a couple DBZ sound effects in there.
But
That'd
yeah,
be really-
mid movie, One Piece won't last 2 seasons.
One Piece mid. It's going to be canceled next year in the year 2002.
It's not as good as My Hero Academia, guys. You guys need to really like hop on the right part of history, you know?
I mean, I can't believe they stole what's his name, the blonde guy's power and put it in movie one. Oh my! Like the guy who is like the tummy laser or whatnot.
Oh, fucking yeah. Sorry.
I don't want.
I forget his name.
The French guy.
Like seriously, besides like
Right.
One Piece, I am not really a big fan of shonen outside of like probably like classic Dragon Ball.
It can be very hit or miss. Yeah. I think my favorite. Well, I won't talk about those right now, but a lot of my favorite Shonen Jump series are like the non-fighting ones. So, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Are you ready to go to the third movie here?
Third movie, last topic, the Chopper's Kingdom, Island of Strange Animals, likes and dislikes. Zoli, are you here?
Zodi's dead.
I think he's
been
still
dead.
dealing with something.
Yeah, I think
He's
he's
been
dealing
dead
with
for
that.
But if you don't mind, if you don't mind me speaking first,
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like since when we first like watched this movie all together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I'm speaking for everyone by saying this movie is just kind of boring.
Yes, it
Like
is.
even more so.
Honestly, I did not have anything to say about this. I was gonna say that I completely forgot what happened in this movie.
Right.
There was like weird animals, a Tarzan kid, and the
Exactly, Tuner. That's the thing. As Chung just said, I remember a lot about One Piece. Even I don't remember a lot about this movie, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
the
Like,
villain was Wapo again. I think I don't remember.
Yeah, he did. He did have Wapple's power.
The only thing that stands out for
Uh,
like this movie for me is like the oil like art that they just like put on like every character.
They're super
Ugh.
shiny in this one.
Ugh.
They,
Oh.
Covered in grease.
they became gamers.
Hmm. It's just I don't.
But yeah, like completely forgettable. I don't even
Right?
know if there was a story in that movie.
Like they think that like the whole story is that they like the one like animal they get like they find the island, right? The like great like guardian died, and it's like these like poachers are like eating horns off of animals because they like them,
Yeah.
and it's like what? Like
Yeah.
this movie's just an enigma.
Yeah.
Movie
What'd you just
3
call
doesn't
me?
exist.
What did you just call me?
Enigma,
Edward
What do I mean?
Nigma.
my
Y'all can't really
brother.
say
Are you
Edward-
saying you're not an enigma?
Edward Ligma. But I can go next if
Well, Foil, you got anything to say?
Oh yeah, this movie is very. I mean, it's extremely mid. You know,
extremely
Extremely.
yeah, because like, okay, so for it seemed like because I had to watch this movie twice, but for like the first like half hour or so, it was basically like they come to the island or whatever, and then Chopper fell from the sky, and it was like, oh hey, you can talk, so you can be king of the animals now.
That's
And
right. It
then,
was like, sorry.
oh no, you can go ahead.
No, that exactly. They treat like Chopper as like the king of the animals, but that like goes like nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
like
Chopper
Chopper
like builds the courage.
Yeah, he was like, nah, man, I'm good. And then they kept on saying, like, dude, you gotta be king and protect us. And he was like, no. He's like, you gotta stay on this island. You're my only friend.
You are my friend.
You're my
Ah.
only
And
friend.
it's already a
No.
short movie, but that
Yeah.
that was really like the first 25 or so minutes of the movie, and it's just that exact exchange. And there's not a lot of stuff that I even remember about the movie, aside from like, you know, how gross the oil look was and how weird the animal designs were.
Oh, I unironically like a lot of the animal designs, especially like the bird that looks like it's wearing glasses. I like that little fella.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from that fact that it's like introduced Chopper, because like even though this is kind of a weak movie and it seems like he's a lot more important character as the show went on, it just seems like it felt kind of rushed. And you can already see it was like the kid was gonna become the king of the animals anyway, so you gotta wonder why wasn't he just the king of the animals already.
They made the man king of the animals. If that isn't symbolism, I don't know what is.
He's a Tarzan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tarzan
but yeah,
named Tony.
that's all I can really think of.
I was I had some comments, but I wanted to wait.
Yeah, it's your turn. You can go ahead, Chungus.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, Chungus.
No. I didn't want to cut you off. Because like picking back off of like the quote unquote animal designs, I think part of the reason I liked them is because they kind of reminded me of Digimon a little bit. They're just kind of like these like gross homunculus freaks. And I think Toei also animated that like the first season of Digimon, so kind of like got a similar vibe. Um, the little Tarzan dude freaking has like Luffy's battle scar too. And this predates Zoo, so this is also like the first time you see like a society of animals in One Piece. It's it's kind of interesting because like on paper the idea of a Chopper movie doesn't sound bad because Chopper's super cute and likable, but yeah, it's really boring and like forgettable, which is kind of sad because I love Chopper. He's a little lad. Uh, I also liked Sanji's fit in this movie. I will give him that. Like Sanji with the glasses is always like, also Tarzan. Yeah, that Tarzan kid just does not like. I don't know what the heck is going on with this design of him.
Mobambi.
the balding,
Mobambi.
the
Oh,
balding
Mo
bird guy
Mama.
too.
Mobambi. You already become the king of the animals.
Ooh, what's wrong with that pigeon in the background?
the balding bird there.
Oh,
He's like the village elder.
Yeah.
he's on ecstasy.
Can
But,
somehow speak like actual like human tongue. I don't.
I will say, even though the villains in this movie are pretty boring, there is like that one part of the movie where like Zoro and Sanji are fighting, and then like they kind of like inadvertently compliment each other, which is kind of cool. It's always cool when Zoro and Sanji do that, where like this guy's like, "Oh, my kicks are the strongest," and Zoro's like, "No, I know somebody who kicks stronger." And then like Sanji says something similar to like his opponent. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
it's just cheesy anime bullshit, but I love shit like that. So I
Whoa.
gave like that last action bit was nice, but like the rest of the movie was just like,
Said, whoa, nice cock, Sanjay.
yeah, Sanjay.
The villain of this movie was Earl Battler.
Oh,
That was his name.
What kind of name is Earl?
Earl
man.
Battler is the main antagonist of the third
He's
movie.
so
Is it
bad
Earl?
guy.
Isn't Earl like a title or something?
Yeah, it
Uh.
is. He is assisted by Hot Dog and Hebe.
Oh no!
Hot Dog was like that old military guy.
I think that's kind of the thing with these last two movies is they kind of like lack direction. You know, I think Unam really stands for like a lot of like classic One Piece, but I think these are kind of like before some of like the bigger arcs really started getting going. So maybe
Well, yeah,
they're like a little bit more
they couldn't
hesitant.
steal like the ideas of villains from better villains.
Yeah, it's kind of
But
like
no. Go on.
I was just gonna say it's like Monster of the Weekish, but One Piece is all about like these big, especially now. Like One Piece now is like all these big, long arced, like several hundred chapter long villains. So I think a lot of it is like when you go back and look at like, oh no, he's just a bad guy. It almost feels like reductive to like the whole series because like One Piece is not like that.
He's just the
you're
bad
just
guy.
You're just a
Yeah.
bad guy?
You're
Wow, that
just
makes
a-
things easier.
Yeah.
No
Even with
royalty,
Waffle.
no ulterior plans. He's just a bad guy.
Like even with Wapol, like he ends up getting like way more development later on. But like these, the East Blue era, I think this one takes place Grand Line, but
It might. Yeah, no, it's Grand Lines and Chopper.
it still feels very like East Bluish in terms of like, no, this guy's just a dickhead. That's it. That's it.
Are you not scared of like Hot Dog? He had like the best fight in this movie.
My man, Hot Dog. I do like. It's weird. I feel like I don't like him as like a One Piece design, but I do kind of like him because I like big, dumb, strong characters. So
You think he'd punch when he kicks?
yeah, I like that a lot about him. He's just kind of goofy. I like his little ponytail and dog collar. I don't think he looks like a Dragon Ball villain to me too, but I don't know. It's such a weird movie.
Right, right.
I'm glad we got some receding hairline representation too. I feel like we really needed that.
This is the other henchman, Hebe.
Ooh, God.
I think the fact that like we're having trouble remembering names too is like another just telltale sign of how kind of
Like-
forgettable they are.
Why does he
Like-
have like 5 eyebrows?
Like Wunan, I don't think I'll ever forget like Wunan and his story
No.
with the grandpa.
No.
Like it's pretty good. But it's like movies 2 and 3 don't have like any kind of moment like that for me. I remember some of the
Yeah.
character designs, but if you were to ask me like to name a character, like name that's not like one of the main characters, no, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I could show a non One Piece fan movie 1 and like maybe get them interested in the series. I don't know if I could show them these two and have it be like a good representation of the series. So that's just me. I think it's actually the worst one out of the 3 too. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I agree with you. It's definitely the worst one. And
Out of this, like the ones we're covering today,
these
yeah, definitely
these
the
3,
worst.
yeah, it's the worst. And I feel like it's the worst because it divides his attention in 2 stories. We got the boner villains and the Chopper story.
The boner villains.
Bones. They just want to eat bones.
Oh, I'm sorry, Zodi.
Battler had a bounty of 14 million.
Oh, that's not. But that's
That's
it.
lower. That's lower. That's lower than Luffy's after Arlong.
Dang. What was this? It was a 30?
Yeah, 30 million.
That was his first bounty, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. That's sad. They could have given him a respectable 35 or something.
No, he's just like an animal poacher, though.
Dang. But, since it's a Chopper movie, I think they wanted him to be like a Wapol-esque character since that's, the main villain of his arc. So I could kind of see what they're going for, but it's bad when like Wapol is is in and of himself at that point in the story one of like the least interesting villains in my opinion. And then when you base like a copy of like a not interesting villain, you end up with like a really not interesting character. So
I mean, Walpole works because it's cathartic in the end.
yeah,
Like you get revenge for the Doctor and for Chopper. It's so that gift.
yeah.
Nom, 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 nom.
Num, 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 num.
Oh yeah. Also, I am I crazy? Or I feel like Chopper's fit in this movie kind of reminded me of Usopp's fit in Thriller Bark, but I might be insane for that.
I would need to look at it again.
These movies are so like kind of that I pay a lot more attention to like the outfits a lot of the time than the actual
mean,
story.
I mean, next time with movie 4, that's another good one, at least.
Yeah, I might have to brush up on it a little bit more.
This is his King of the Animals outfit.
On the
This
next
is-
podcast, next year.
This is his kingdom come. If we wait another year, we can at least have another watch party for it.
Hey.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always down to watch it. Even the even the poster is oily. Even the poster.
I love the thumbs up. Actually,
You're extra shiny.
oh my god.
Nami's face. I'm sorry, Nami. You look better.
I guess this is when we've really entered the Grumpy Gus era for Zoro.
Mhm. Remember when Zoro used to laugh,
I was gonna say in the first movie he's still a little goofy,
right?
but around the time a certain someone joined the crew, it seems he got a little bit grumpier. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like when a certain blonde individual joined the crew, Mosshead wasn't too happy about it.
Oh.
Oh wait, I forgot that Luffy had that #1 on his shirt in the movie.
He's
Yeah.
number one.
He is
And
number
he
one.
was number 1.
God, they're so shiny. Jesus.
Right?
Oh my god. They're glistening. Why are they so shiny in this movie?
This man loved the word glistening.
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 Luffy's just like Luffy's like smile and the gum showing on the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that Chopper smile though?
He's just
That's
he's
a
proud.
grin.
Yeah, he's just so proud of it.
That's a king grin.
I forgot that I actually do like Chopper's pre-time skip design where he's still kind of chunky. He's a
Right?
little chunky. And I will give this movie that, like, it's cute. I like his design.
How dare this movie what you would call it? I don't know. The words escaping my mind.
Be mid.
The
Is that what you're
mid.
gonna say?
I'm gonna say the M word. I'm gonna get all the likes on Twitter.
Wait,
It's mid.
don't do it.
It's lower than mid.
Oh no, that's I remember what I was gonna say. It did
It's
start with an M.
like
Like Chopper becoming a mascot character. How dare Toei like hire a good voice actress for her?
Yeah.
Like you saw the like SBS, right? Or whatever where the interview
Yeah.
that came from where it's like, oh, Chopper wasn't originally gonna be like that, but when I heard his voice actress, yeah, no.
He's just so perfect. He's a cute little lad.
What a lad. And kind
Yeah.
of sad he kind of hides Dr. Hirokyu's like hat and like the blue thing. Like
Oh,
add on.
man.
I don't know.
So weird.
In the what?
Like
The,
like the hat inside of like the blue hat or whatever.
Oh,
Like the hat's current design.
yes. Yeah. His forehead's massive in the new design.
it's all that
Right.
knowledge. All that
Oh
medical
no,
knowledge.
Foil. What is that image? I hate it. Why does the kid look like
Just a little.
Hey, Chopper?
Yeah.
Chopper, have you heard about this series called Naruto?
Naruto?
Oh. Oh.
No.
That kid is just excited meeting the furry for the first time.
Oh
Okay,
no.
this is like the 20th time I mentioned Thriller Bark, but does the main villain kind of remind you a little bit of Mori a little bit?
Yeah, he
'Cause
does look
Yeah,
like a
he
miniature gecko more.
he's like a
Like-
tiny gecko Moria.
I don't know why this is like the 5th or 6th time. I don't even like that arc that much, but
It's a smaller gecko Moria penis head. I'm not small. I'm just below national average.
I can't believe this gentleman had a 14 million bounty. That's nothing. What did he steal ice cream on a Sunday?
I don't know.
14 million is Nathan. Even at like that point in the story. Nathan.
Oh, what you recall? What blows my mind is that this isn't really like a spoiler for Red, right? But apparently Shanks at the time of like he was on like Dawn Island, right? Had like a bounty of like 1 billion. So like that guy, like the mountain bandit saying like, "Oh, I have a bounty of 8 million," and like Shanks just sitting there with a bounty of 1 billion.
$1 billion.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that even at that stage, like he was such a big name and he was like dealing with Mihawk and stuff. Like even
Right.
like when he first met Luffy as a kid. When Luffy was a kid, rather. Not when Shanks was a kid.
That kid is definitely Shanks's. I will refuse any other testimony.
When we ever like when we do the inevitable like One Piece podcast where we just talk about the series proper, I will definitely have some things to say.
That would never happen. I'm not gonna
Never?
No.
sit here and talk about
Look,
1,000+ episodes of things.
We don't have to
Well-
talk about each and every one of them, but we could
Well,
talk
if
about
we-
like arcs.
every
We're
arcs.
talking like the series in general. Me and Shungus are going to be here for like 5 hours,
I will dead ass talk about One Piece for years. Okay?
right?
We talk
I'm going to be
about
telling my grandkids about One Piece.
every single arc.
All right. You see, it all started in this tiny little
once-
village in the East Blue.
There once was a
man
name.
named Gold Roger.
He was king of the pirates.
Actually, it's Gold D. Roger. The government hid his name.
Gold
They're
D.
scared of the
Roger.
D.
The spirit of these not. No.
The D stands for. You know, it stands for. You know, the
Oh,
classic
no.
mystery of the D. It just stands for.
Fail. That's a hate crime against fish.
My
You
name is
apologize to Arlong right now.
The king of the fish
Oh,
people.
Pale is canceled. Pale's so canceled, dude. We're so canceling her, dude. It's over, Pale. It's so over.
The Virgin MLK
Right.
Jinbei versus Chad.
The Chad Malcolm X. He is no. Arlong is not the. Arlong is one of those like.
Hey, we
Arlong
got
is one
to
of
end
those,
this
like,
podcast. So like,
You know what? Yeah, end it
Chunk-
before I say something really
Nah,
controversial.
Chunk, go ahead. You can say
No,
it.
you know what?
Right-
Never mind.
right after you say it, I'll end the
Come on,
podcast.
It's
Arlong's
Arlong.
one of those people that like, if he found out you were dating a white woman, he would actually
Oh,
like
bro,
he would
come
actually
on.
fucking think way less of you. He would hate you. Arlong
What?
canonically hates white women. That is a fact. That is a canonical fact.
And what makes Horty then?
Odie Jones.
Horty Jones.
Odie. I actually forgot Odie existed. They can both
Okay.
date white women.
They
They
can
would get
both
along
date.
great, actually.
They will
I
be
think they'd be
brothers.
best friends.
All right, that's enough. End the podcast.
Yeah.
So long,
It's
everyone.
over. It's over.
Goodbye. Any last words?
But
Check out my
watch
Twitter.
One Piece.
Check out my Twitter. Check out my YouTube. Check out my OnlyFans.
Yeah, I knew he was about to say that.
Check out my
The
Premium.
harass Chungus YouTube, report every video he makes.
Follow me
I
on
want
Newgrounds.
you
Follow me on
to
Tumblr.
report everything Chungus makes. There.
Right, bro.
That's all I gotta say.
Dang,
Oh,
they
wait.
got me.
Yeah. Bye. Bye,
Love you.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.
All right, thanks for having me.
That's right.